Hey, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Z.Nick, and on my channel I do feature a ton of fashion related content. So that includes clothing hauls, styling videos, purse hauls, all of that great stuff. But for today's video, I decided to switch things up a bit and take you all behind the scenes of this really dope project that I'm working on. And I'm gonna give you a little story time just so y'all can understand how long I've actually been into designing. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so hear me out. Just trust the process. I know this top is looking really interesting on this mannequin, but I promise you this is not the final product. I still do need to go in, make a couple of more alterations, do some more stitching. So this is not how it's gonna look in the end, okay? I'm just fitting it on the mannequin before I go in to do those additional stitchings that I need to do. But I do like to kind of go in between just to see how things are looking before continuing with the project, okay? So I just want to put it out there because again, I know it's looking a little interesting, but this is not how it's gonna look in the end, all right? So stay tuned so you can see a cleaner product soon. All right, so now I'm ready to go back to the sewing machine, but before I go in and sew anything, I always check with a piece of scrap fabric just to make sure that my stitch pattern and the tension is where I need it to be. So right now I'm showing you all this looks nice and tight. The stitching is a straight stitch, so it's exactly what I want. And I use this dial, I'll put a little arrow in and these stitch patterns here and these little dials above to make sure that the stitch pattern and the tension is where I need it to be. Because the last thing you want to do is stitch an entire piece of fabric and the stitching be incredibly loose. All right, so now that I'm ready to go on the machine, I'm taking that top that you saw on the mannequin, that lovely top, and I'm gonna finish working on creating a nice finished edge for the neckline. See, I told y'all, trust the process, okay? That top is not done. All right, now in order to create that clean finished edge for the neckline, I don't know if it's gonna make much sense, but essentially I took an additional piece of fabric, sewed it on the top, flipped it back, and now as you can see I'm stitching a straight line down or following the pattern of the neckline. Now this part I have to be super precise because you can literally see the stitching and I just wanted to look nice and clean, so I'll show you. I messed up a bit. That back piece of fabric was puckering a bit or showing and I don't want it to be shown. So I went in, took a seam ripper and removed it. Now I'm starting over. And I just decided to do that because again, I want it to look clean and I don't want that piece of fabric that I used to create that finished edge to show. All right, so now I'm going back in to work on that neckline and I'm taking my time. So I'm sewing pretty slow just to make sure that I'm getting a nice straight stitch. Okay, so as I'm working on this neckline, I'm gonna do a bit of a story time just so you can understand more about how far back my passion for fashion stems back to, and to get to know more about me because I feel like I probably haven't shared too much about me so far on my channel. So I figured this would be a really cool opportunity to do so. Now, first of all, I'll say this, I am a self-taught designer. So a lot of the things that you'll see me doing is pretty much things that I've learned along the way and things that I've taught myself. So just keep that in mind as you're watching. I'm by no means showing you or teaching you how to do things a certain way because this is just the ways that I've learned or pretty much things that I've picked up along the way. Now, in terms of when I actually got into designing, it started around preschool, elementary school age. Now, when I say that, this is just me playing around with like Barbie and doll clothing and cutting them up and repurposing them into something new. But overall, I'll say that to say that this has just been something that I've been super passionate about for a really long time. And one of my stories that I want to share with you all, I have a ton, but this one definitely stands out and actually makes me smile and laugh just thinking about how I actually did this. It goes back to junior high school. So I remember I one day decided to make a clothing catalog for my friends and some classmates. So what I did, I took a couple of stacks or a couple of pieces of loose leaf, created a booklet, so I just stapled together into a booklet, and on the front I had my fashion house name, which has changed so much. So I think I remember one of them, it was Kiki 23, but it's changed a bunch when I was younger. So I had the fashion house name on the front cover, And then within the booklet, I had on each page was a sketch of a design that I created. And on the bottom, I would have the order number for that outfit, and then a section for the customer to put like their name and contact info if they decided that they wanted to purchase something. So I remember one of my friends, who was like a best friend of mine at the time, she went ahead and decided to purchase from my catalog. So y'all, back then I was like, okay, like this is a real business, okay? So I took her order, went home, and I got an old, it was clean, okay, so don't judge me, but I got an old, like an undershirt, a white undershirt, and I created whatever it was that she had chosen from the booklet, and I created that top, okay? Now, I laugh at it now, but honestly, like, to me, that kind of shows, you know, like it shows a lot of like the determination that I had and the passion for fashion, as I keep saying, as cliche as it sounds. But that, to this day, like I think about it and it makes me laugh so much, but also puts a smile on my face. And if I could ever find that booklet, I don't know what I did with it, but if I could ever find it, I'll make sure that I do share it with you all one of these days. Now, because I couldn't find that catalog, I did not want to leave y'all hanging. So this is a sketchbook from 2003. You can see the date above. And sketch 1 and 2 are from, these are characters from a book that I was writing back in junior high school. And then for sketch 3 and 4, those are outfits or sketches I would have included in the catalog. And again, this is from 2003, so young Z at 10 years old. Okay, so did y'all enjoy that walk down memory lane with me? Let me know in the comments below. But it just goes to show the passion I've had since I was super young. And ever since then, you know, I'm still working on things. I could do better in terms of making sure that I'm more consistent with my projects. But I think it's definitely a matter of me just having time to do it, which it sounds crazy. Like, how do you not make time for your passions? But again, you know, something that I'm working on. And I think, you know, maybe I'll do a series like this, because I think it'll definitely keep me more accountable. So if you all would like to see more behind the scene videos of me sewing or working on projects, let me know in the comments down below, because I think it'll be fun just to kind of take you all along with me as I'm working on these projects. And I'll try to do a better job of capturing me sewing. But for the first time, like, this is kind of awkward trying to prop my phone up to the sewing machine while also, like I said before, working on that neckline. I'm trying to be very, very precise, but I think it was fun. So I can definitely see myself doing some more of these types of videos, and especially just to show you a different side of my interest in fashion apart from those styling and clothing hauls. All right, but now let's get back to this top, because I want to show y'all, like I said, okay, look how this is looking now. This is different from when we first saw it, right? Now remember what I said, trust the process, okay? Because I know I had y'all worried a bit, like, what is she doing? But here we are. You can see this top is looking much more cleaner. So I have the neckline nice, clean, and finished. I'm still not done yet, so there's still more work to be done, but this is just a glimpse of how things are looking. Before I close out, I did want to show a quick sneak peek of the pants that I'll be wearing with the top. So definitely make sure to stay tuned for the final product. If you enjoyed what you saw, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content like it. And don't forget, on my channel, I love practicing gratitude. So if you would like, feel free to let me know what's one thing you're grateful for in the comments down below, or feel free to journal it. I promise you it feels amazing. All right, see you in my next video.